Greetings!
Monkey releases this Friday, February 21st. However, I was able to get early access tickets for a February 12th screening, so I just wanted to give a quick little review on that. The Monkey was originally written by Stephen King, however has been adapted for the big screen by Osgood Perkins, who also directed Longlegs. So, the movie stars Theo James, Tatiana Maslany, and Christian Convery, and it has an estimated runtime of an hour 38 minutes, and if you want to stay for the not so much an end credit scene, there is something at the end, but it is not involving the monkey. It is just pretty much showing you a sneak peek at Osgood Perkins' next film, which I won't say anything about because it's about the monkey. Originally going into this movie, I really had a high anticipation for it. I was really excited for the monkey because I was a big fan of Longlegs. I didn't think it was the greatest movie. I definitely thought it was overrated, but I definitely had a lot of enjoyment out of it. But regardless, I did have a lot of excitement for the monkey. This really looked like a fun, interesting movie. I was not aware that it was going to be a dark comedy. I was more so under the impression that it was going to be a little more serious than what it actually turned out to be. But I would like to share what I thought of it overall, but before I do that, I would like to go into the actual posters that were released for the movie. There was a teaser poster which just showcases the monkey in a full body picture. I think this one was actually really good. I do like the lighting and the black background around it. I think this is a really good poster. I think this is a better one if I'm being honest. And, I mean, there's not much to say about this one except that, hey, it just showcases what you're going to go see the movie for, the monkey, and does a good job of doing that. Just pretty basic. Simple. And also moving on, we have the official release poster, which released just before the early access screenings came out. And this one is just a close-up of the monkey, and yeah, this thing looks demented. I really like how they make this thing look evil and actually lifelike, because if you look at the gums on this thing, yeah, it looks like it's an actual living monkey that's half toy, and the red eyes are, yeah, this thing looks terrifying, and it looks like it's going to be a serious movie. It doesn't really showcase the goofiness that the movie has in it, which is not a bad thing, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the trailers. I think they're both pretty solid. Moving on to the actual merchandise of the movie, I'm going to be taking a look at everything that AMC, Cinemark, and Regal released for the monkey. I will be doing it in a different order. I will be doing AMC theaters last because I think theirs is the best, and it's really good. I think I'm surprised we even got any merchandise for this movie, considering it's, you know, a rated R movie, and the guy who did Longlegs didn't really get anything for Longlegs, so I really wasn't expecting anything for this in regards to merch, but we did get something, and I'll just showcase that now. Starting off with Cinemark, we have just a basic little tin. There's not much to say about it. It's just a black tin, red inside, and it's just it's pretty much just a monkey poster just slapped onto the tin. It's pretty basic. It's only going to cost you $15, so if that's something you're looking for, definitely just go to Cinemark and spend $15 on this thing. It's just your average sized popcorn tin. It's going to hold a decent amount of popcorn, and that's pretty much all there is to say about the Cinemark one. Good $15 right there if collecting tins is your preferred popcorn bucket. So Cinemark has a really nice tin for you to get. Now let's take a look at what Regal has. Considering they had the most amount of items for Captain America Brave New World, they've definitely got to have something huge in mind for the monkey. Let's take a look at what they have.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, they don't have anything. That's unfortunate. That sucks. Well, I guess that just leaves AMC theaters. Now let's take a look at what they have.
The monkey chain! The monkey's fist! The monkey!
That's right, AMC theaters decided to just pull the monkey right out of the screen and release him as a popcorn bucket. This is definitely the best popcorn bucket that has been released this entire year. I don't care what anyone says. This is awesome. This is what I want to see with popcorn buckets and creativity. like I said, we were lucky to get anything regarding merch for this movie. But the fact that they actually went out of their way to give us a monkey popcorn bucket with the actual drum being the popcorn bucket itself, I think is great. And I would be surprised if these don't sell out. Yes, they do have a price point of $50. However, I think it's worth it. This is creative and it deserves to be sold out. So it holds a decent amount of popcorn, but just keep in mind that this is on the heavier side. So if you do have your popcorn buckets displayed on a glass shelf or something, just keep that in mind, that this is probably going to be like a 2 or 3 pound popcorn bucket. At least that's what it feels like when I hold it. And it's pretty decently sized too. It holds a good amount of popcorn, not so much for the movie theaters based on, what the popcorn prices are going for, but for the popcorn that you pop at home, definitely. This is definitely a good thing to grab. And it also has posable arms too, so can't go wrong with this popcorn bucket at all. This is definitely really creative, deserves to be sold out. AMC did a really good job with this one. Going into the monkey, I originally had really, really high expectations for it. I figured that Osgood Perkins was really going to create something special, as this looked like a really fun, interesting, violent movie that he was going to create. And so I went in with an open mind, and I thought the movie was pretty good. Osgood Perkins' previous movie was Long Legs, and we all know how that movie did. It did really well. It got a lot of buzz going about it, so I managed to check that one out, and as soon as this movie was announced, I was already excited for it, knowing that it was a Stephen King film. However, once I saw that Osgood Perkins was connected to the film as well, I knew that I was going to watch this movie no matter what. So the monkey pretty much follows the two main characters, as you see in the trailer. In short, it's pretty much just their childhood monkey family toy that was passed down to them from their father, and starts killing their family, catches up with them again as adults, so it's up to them to figure out how to get rid of that evil. So I got to see an early access of this film, so I believe I watched it a whole week early ahead of time, and I had a full theater. I had a really good audience. Everyone was really entertained by this movie, and so was I. So as soon as I walked into the movie, I already knew what I was getting myself into. This was not one of those secret movies that AMC holds. This was an actual early access screening, so everyone in the theater knew exactly what they were getting themselves into, and I was expecting, something really deep, really character driven, and something more personal. I was going into this movie expecting another Long Legs movie, and as a viewer, I just want to say that if you plan on watching this movie, do not expect another Long Legs. As you may be a little disappointed, but I do want to say that you should go into this movie knowing that it's a horror comedy. So, yeah, it's pretty much established right away, if you didn't know that it's a really wild ride. You can expect some Final Destination like kills and deaths in this movie. Like, it is over the top crazy. Like, it's fun. It's really fun. Originally, I found myself a little disappointed during those first 20-30 minutes of the movie. However, I did end up enjoying it. I came to the realization that, this Osgood Perkins is here to have fun telling this story, this over-the-top story, with these Final Destination-like kills, with a well-known character or toy in the monkey. And so as soon as I came to that realization, and as soon as I accepted the fact that this was not going to be another Long Legs movie, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. And I overlooked the first initial thought that I had at the beginning, where I didn't really like it all too much. And once the end credits started rolling, I thought it was great. I had a really fun time. I am now looking forward to any other movies coming out from Osgood Perkins. I think he is really good. I think he is definitely, leading into the horror genre, obviously. But anything horror that he does from now on, I am definitely going to give it a shot. I will absolutely be there opening night early access, if he has opening access for his next movie, I'm definitely going to be there. I think this movie was great. I did want to talk about the beginning because that first kill that happens in the movie, it is in the trailer. I'm not going to tell you exactly which one it is, but there is a really funny opening to this movie. The first kill pretty much sets up the tone for the movie. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. It starts out like all serious and everything, where a character is just going crazy. He's like, you know what? I don't want this thing. I don't want it. And out of nowhere, just something happens, and it's funny. It's really funny and over the top. It's like Final Destination type ridiculous. And that happened. The whole theater just kind of went silent for a sec, and then gasped, and then they all just started laughing, and that's when we all knew what kind of movie this was going to be. And as a collective audience, we immediately knew we were in for a good time. And so the first part of this movie, you can easily separate this into 3 acts, and you can tell which acts are which. The first act pretty much just follows the main 2 characters as children, and I was originally thinking like that based off the trailers, it was going to be mostly following them as adults, but no, it actually spends quite a bit of time setting them up as kids, and it shows how they came into the possession of this monkey, which I thought was actually really good. I kind of like this stuff, showing these horrors that children come into contact with, because that's just the kind of stuff that I like to see, because children don't really know how to react or, deal with this kind of stuff. So seeing all this kind of stuff from a kid's perspective is always interesting to see how they handle this kind of stuff. And, especially if they're not having the best life as a child, they may tend to use these things for evil or use these things for good, or you never know. It's just they're children. They don't have these morals set up yet. And just seeing that kind of stuff happen in the movie, seeing them tackle that kind of stuff was really cool and interesting to see. I always love seeing that. So that's absolutely like one of the better parts. I definitely think the first act of this movie is spectacular. And the second half of this movie, or at least the second act of the film, focuses on the children all grown up. And one of the kids is pretty much missing from the picture. He's kind of doing his own thing. I'm not going to get into spoilers as to what that character is doing, but the main character, one of the brothers that you see in the trailers, he's kind of just figuring out his life, getting his life together, just going through some stuff, and it's really interesting to see that kind of stuff. You connect with the character, you understand him a little more, you get some sympathy towards him. Granted, we've seen the stuff that he's going through, we've seen it done time and time again. It's nothing brand new here. This isn't anything revolutionary. It's something we've seen before, but seeing it in another character, especially for a horror movie, we're not meant to be taking all that seriously, it's fine. It's not anything new, but it's good to see the way this character is going to overcome those obstacles. Just getting lightly into the actual parts of the movie and everything, the main character, he's just going through some stuff with his wife and his son, and how many times have we seen this? I don't think I have to elaborate on that anymore. Divorce, I don't think I need to elaborate anymore on that. But, stuff's happening in the family, and he gets to spend time with his kid, and that's, of course, when the monkey finds its way back to him. And that's when stuff starts going crazy. You see all these crazy kills again. That's when the movie picks back up, and it's really good to see that kind of stuff, especially when you look at all the kills. Just be aware that you're going to see a lot of like Final Destination like deaths, like stuff, guts flying. You're going to see blood all over the screen. It's crazy. It's over the top. It's goofy. It's funny, and yeah, there's just so much that you're going to see that's going to make you laugh. A lot of the jokes, a lot of the characters also, they crack a lot of funny jokes where it's like, okay, this is already what they just said is setting up their death. And seeing it pay off and the way they die, it's funny. Like this is a movie that you're going to enjoy if you just want to have a good night out and get some laughs in with your friends, especially if you go drinking before. I don't know, maybe if you go to AMC theaters, you go to the MacGuffin's bar, get a couple drinks before, and or I don't know, if you go to Alamo Draft House, get some beer or something. This is a movie you're gonna have a lot of fun watching. So definitely, definitely just keep that in mind. Alcohol will probably make this movie 10 times funnier than it is, but it is funny. As for the final act of the film, I did want to touch upon that a little bit. I felt as though the ending may be a little hit or miss because this is something we've seen. This is one of those endings we've seen time and time again. It's something happens and it's all. This whole movie was just a plot by one person, and that one person's like, "Come here, do this," and then we can go our separate ways. It's like I said, this movie is definitely not one you're meant to be taking seriously. And this movie is 100% self-aware of that. Go in here to have a good time. Don't think too much about it. Enjoy all the kills and don't expect another long legs, but definitely expect to have a good time. So I definitely think the ending was a little bit lackluster when I think about it, and I'm like, okay, this could have definitely been something a lot better. They could have done this differently, but similar to how the Hard Eyes movie was more of a Scream-like ending, the Monkey is something I can't really think of a movie that I want to compare it to in regards to the ending because I swear I've seen it so many times before, but off the top of my head, I just can't think of a single movie title that has the same ending. I really don't know why, but yeah. All in all, there is just so much from this movie to enjoy. There are definitely some downs to it, but when it's a movie like of this quality of comedy, dark humor, and all that kind of stuff, you can't really expect to go into this movie and try to be harsh on it. Just go into this movie and to have a fun time and call it a day. But if I wanted to give this a rating, I would probably say that this is based off of what I got, what I was expecting. I'd probably say this is easily like an 8 or 7.5 or 8. 5 being average, I would probably say this is like an 8. It's definitely above average. Good quality. The cinematography, the filming was good. The VFX, like all the visual effects, like they were kind of meh, but it's yeah, this movie was not meant to be taken seriously, so I can't really say that the visual effects were supposed to be good. They used a lot of practical effects for the blood, you can definitely tell that, and I'm sure you see a lot of it in the trailer. That's definitely all practical. It was overall just really good. I definitely recommend you go check it out, especially since it comes out this weekend. If you have some money to spare, this is definitely one of the ones to watch over the weekend. And if you're kind of debating on whether or not you should watch Captain America: Brave New World or this, it really depends. I would say if you are of age and you're kind of looking to have more fun, I would say definitely check this one out. This one it's not meant to be taken seriously, whereas Captain America, if you kind of look at it a little more deep, you will find a lot wrong with it. But I don't think that either of them are bad movies at all. I think I think Captain America is just average, and I think The Monkey is just slightly above average because you get to have a really good time with it. And I'm actually considering watching it again just to maybe with a different friend to maybe go get a couple laughs and enjoy myself and see what their reactions are, because the theater that I was in and the person I watched it with, everyone had really good reactions to this movie. We all left the theater laughing and just having a good time with this. Like I said, I just want to reiterate, do not expect to have another Long Legs film. So that's pretty much going to be it. Once this movie ends its theatrical run, I'll be able to go into a little more spoilery type stuff and elaborate on some of the things that I was talking about here. I just wanted to give a quick little reaction, say that I think this movie is actually really good, and definitely recommend you go check it out. So I guess that's gonna be it for me. Yeah. Sorry for the long pause. Yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Good night, everyone. Stay safe and take care of yourself. And until next time, thank you so much for checking out my video. Bye.
Time to abandon ship.